video that is exciting. It is going to be about the Monster High Collected Corpse Bride doll. This doll came out a while ago, but I haven't had an opportunity to speak about her on this channel until now, and so I'm going to be talking about her today. This was probably the Skeletor that I wanted Monster High to make the most. I just really wanted a Corpse Bride doll as soon as they released the Nightmare Before Christmas Skeletor 2-pack. As soon as that line came out and I realized that they had the opportunity to collaborate with Disney in that way, I was essentially begging for a Corpse Bride collaboration, and I was so stoked when she finally came out. I was extremely nervous that I wouldn't be able to get my hands on her, but I was successful in the end. I did get my hands on her. She's probably the best Skeletor concept, in my opinion. She's the one I wanted the most. If I was to ask for more Skeletors, the one that I don't have that I would love, but she costs so much so I wouldn't, is Greta Gremlin. She's probably like my favorite out of the ones that I don't have. Out of the ones I haven't made yet, I really reckon they should do a collaboration with Emily Lestrange. Obviously, I'm an Emily, so I'm biased for all of these like Emily characters. But I think that Emily Lestrange would really work well with like the world of Monster High and, you know, the kind of collaborations they do. I feel like it would suit in with her spooky vibe. She's just an icon. So, you know, maybe I should leave that in their comments like 20 times. Spam it in their comments, beg them. I would love, yeah, an Emily the Strange doll. Because she has had dolls in the past. They're very like in the style of Emily the Strange. They're very funky looking and I think they're cute, but they cost an arm and a leg, and I would love to see her in the mainstream like Monster High. Anyway, let's talk about it. So she comes in the box, obviously. The classic Mattel shipper. It says Monster High Collected doll on it. I won't show you all sides, but they're pretty much like this. And then the doll usually is wrapped in some tissue paper. However, since I did get her a while ago, I did take out the tissue paper already because I wanted to look at the doll and make sure that mine had a good screening, and of course, she did actually. They did do a pretty decent job with this particular line of Skeletors. I didn't see much discourse online about people being unsatisfied with their screenings. People generally seem to be satisfied with the way that this doll looks. So I'll talk about the exterior packaging first, then I'll take apart the opening. We'll look at the interior packaging, and then we'll discuss Emily herself. As you may know, I'm a both in-box and out-of-box collector. I did only buy one of this doll, and I intend on keeping her in-box. Some of the dolls that I get, I believe, look better in-box than out-of-box. And that's how I determine if I'm going to unbox them or not. With this particular doll, I just do think that she's going to look better as an in-box doll. I like the way that Mattel has been doing this kind of pull apart kind of packaging. I just think it looks really like simple and clean, but displays the doll in a very nice way. So that's why I'm going to choose to keep her in doll, but no judgment if you're going to take your Skeletors out of box. I just think she's going to be kept nice and dust free in the packaging, but still able to be seen. I like that it's very a viewable packaging. Anyway, yeah, some of my other dolls I do think look better out of box though. And some of them I want to redress and play with their outfits, but this isn't one of those dolls for me. So this is very similar to, or pretty much the same style of packaging as some of the more recent Skeletors, including the recent Creature from the Black Lagoon that I got last year. This one, it just says on the front, Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, and then it has the specific font, and then there is a little swirl with a little butterfly at the end. Now I would like to show you also that there is like the matte finish with the glossy texture. So all of the details on the packaging have this like, I'm not sure if you can see it on the font though. The font has the, I can't show the reflection. The font has this like glossy texture as well in the shadow of it. It's only in the shadow though, so it's not as shiny as like the actual picture of Emily, so it doesn't really come up on camera. Anyway, we have this wraparound picture of Emily over here. She looks really pretty. It's nice photograph. I would have loved for some like Monster High style artwork of her, just because, you know, as much as I love the photography and their nice pictures, I would love to see some, you know, doll art, especially from the company, especially some like, you know, licensed doll art. I just think would have been fun. We've got some like murky distance image of a bride over here. I think that's Victoria in the distance. And we've just got some like pretty murky scenes over here. I'll wrap around because I've kind of mentioned Emily's over here. So we've got Emily on the front. We've got Monster High Skeletor down the bottom, just this little Skeletor logo. On this side, it says Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, and again we have the swirl with the butterfly and the other half of that wraparound image. So if you were keeping these like as bookends, like some people I know have heaps of Skeletor dolls and they stack them like this in a book and they can like pull them out like books, this would be the side that you probably keep out, because I mean this side's cute too to keep out, but I feel like you'd keep the side with the logo. I feel like that would look nice as a shelved doll if you were to do that. On the back of the box, we have this scene from kind of like the movie. So we've got the chapel here, which is shining like the church. We've got all of these bats going off into the distance. Oh no, they're birds, sorry. We've got the full moon over here. We've got a little bridge, and then underneath here, I guess we have like the underworld, I guess. I don't know. How would you describe this kind of... We've got this horse here, which is like a shiny kind of skeleton. We've got some different creepy looking doors. We've got like a skeleton down here, and we've just got Emily, the same graphic, this same picture they're using for her. And then this one we have a different pose for her, so she's in kind of like a side on kind of like pose as well. I think she looks really pretty here because obviously she has this like side glance, right? And so in this image it's like she's looking at you because they've got her like side on, but she's got the side glance, so she's like peeking over her shoulder a little bit. I think this is a really nice picture. That's probably one of the better angles of her in my opinion. But yeah, that's a nice graphic and all, but I would have loved to see like doll art like of the Corpse Bride, but in Monster High style. I just felt like that would have been cool. So I'm opening the box up, and these are the half kind of cases that are like the, I don't know even what I'm trying to say. They just slide apart, and then you've got the doll in the inside. This kind of packaging is like kind of what they've been up to recently. Inside we have this like window here with Emily, which we'll talk about in a bit. I will talk about her after I talk about the rest of the packaging. So we've got this image, which is another one of those side-on ones, but her veil is over her face and she's not looking directly at the camera. Again, this is that shiny texture. Really nice picture of her. We have this blurb on the back, and then we also have on this side another picture of her with the veil pulled to the side. Another really beautiful picture of her. This one has some butterflies coming out from it. And then a mini picture of her the same way. So we've got like a larger one and then a smaller one superimposed at the bottom there, with little butterflies and some swirls and stuff. So this is what the back of the packaging looks like. I'll just pop this box behind. So it just has a little blurb about Emily on the back, and then it says Monster High Collector down there. Oh, I didn't even show you guys the bottom of the box. Usually I do. Excuse me. So the top of the box has nothing on it. It's just like plain. And then the bottom of the box has, this is one side, barcode, if that helps anyone out. Yeah, so I believe that the release with Emily wasn't as ridiculous as some of the other Skellacta releases has been. It sounds like they did a pretty reasonable amount of stock for her, so it sounds like most people that wanted her were able to get their hands on her, and she wasn't like too hyped and stuff, because I know there was a bit of fear just because she is a Disney character and she's quite a popular character. Some people were fearful that it would be very difficult to get their hands on this doll, but I feel like it was pretty decent. If I was able to get my hands on her down in Australia, which is pretty difficult to get a lot of dolls down here, I missed out on all of the like pre-production dolls in the first wave, for example. All rounds of it I was not successful. I feel like she was a pretty successful release if I was able to get my hands on her. Anyway, it says, Emily, dearly beloved and departed, we are gathered here today to celebrate the unlife of Emily, who has found her way. Although she felt nor ice nor sun, nor candle flame, her betrayed and broken heart ached all the same, until an engagement gave her hope a spark, despite the pesky clause, death do us apart. But alas, just as a piano duet must end, so too did her betrothal. She set herself and her groom free, heart more glad than woeful. Emily walked the aisle in reverse, exuding ghostly grace, luminous, her gossamer veil flowing behind her face. At peace she stepped into the moonlight and let go with a sigh, dissolving into 1,000 blue butterflies fluttering into the sky. Which is kind of like the plot of the movie a little bit, but also like gives a vibe of like who she is as a character. I really like Emily as a character. I just think she's great. So, yeah, just so many reasons why I'm stoked that they chose Emily to be one of their next Skellectors. The top of the box just has the Skellacta logo as well, and it's also in that shiny texture. You can see it a bit. Anyway, I'm going to remove the window from the box. Usually these are not stuck in, and then I can just like hopefully slide it up to show you guys the doll in a dust-free way, and then put this back on so that she's protected again. Should be good. Oh, she's gorgeous. I love the shade of blue they used for her hair. If you watch my videos, I have done a lot of different hair colors, and about 2 years ago now I had blue hair, and I just love this shade of blue. Blue is such a difficult hair color to have in real life. But yeah, I also did, while I didn't have blue hair, before when I was blonde, I sprayed my whole hair blue so I could do a Corpse Bride costume. And I did like 2 different versions, like more accurate-ish one, and then a more like mini skirt version one. Oh, I felt gorgeous on both those nights. For the more like accurate one, I painted my whole self blue. It was so fun. I just really love the style of her like makeup and like the concept of her character, the way she looks. It's just really great. So let's talk about the background before we get into the actual doll, because I feel like the doll is very exciting to me. So I want to like, you know, talk about her. But we're in the chapel, so we can see we've got the kind of like cathedral, I don't even know what, like, are these Gothic style windows? I'm not a church expert, but yes, we have like the stained glass windows behind her that are not very colorful. It's very like blue and black color scheme, very gray, muted tones. We've got all the butterflies, because as we know at the end of the film, she's freed into a bunch of butterflies, spoilers. Yeah, we're just in the church. It's a very cute church scene. And I think that it's really nice also that it's symmetrical. I like the way that it frames her really well. And she's her wedding dress, of course. I know a lot of people are saying they could have done the wedding dress better. Yes, they could have done the wedding dress better, but it's Mattel and they're not going to, okay? They're stingy and they don't give us the best outfits every time. I do accept that this is the best that we're going to get. And I appreciate the details that we did get on the doll. Could it have been a fuller skirt? Yes. Could it have been a different material instead of these 3 layers of tulle? Sure. But were they going to do it? No. And was I going to buy this Emily the Corpse Bride doll regardless, because I'm in love with Emily the Corpse Bride and I love the character concept and everything about that? Yeah, so it's inevitable. I have seen people online make a new dress for her and I think those look really, really nice. Will I be purchasing a custom-made dress for her or attempting to make a wedding dress for her myself? No, I will not. I think she's going to stay in box and I think it's good enough for me. I understand what people are saying though, and I respect their opinions because I think they are correct, but it's not going to stop me from enjoying my doll as she is. Let's talk about her from head to toe. On the top, she has this amazing little crown, which has a spiderweb kind of cap going back. So it's almost like a little like veil hat, like a little bonnet. And I love the way that it looks. It has painted details with 3 blue butterflies painted at the front. The rest of it is a very, very dark, almost black blue kind of color. The back of it is all that spider web. I love how it's quite symmetrical. And then she has this spider web dripping down her face on this side. And then this one is more like pearl beads dripping down this side. I like how it's both spooky and fancy looking. I think it looks great. I love her makeup. She has obviously blue skin. There is about the tiniest little shimmer to her face. Maybe it's just me. I feel like there is a shimmer to her face. She has the Tim Burton style eyes, which are like very like pin eyes. She has gray iris. What's this part? The colored part of her eyes are literally gray. She's wearing purple and light purple and dark purple and every shade of purple on her makeup in a very like Tim Burton way to give her that very like look. I like how they did her eyebrows. They look great. Really gives the Tim Burton expression. If you know what base doll Emily's sculpt is, I would love to know, because I feel like a lot of these Skellactor dolls are actually just like a G1 sculpt repainted. And if you know who her G1 sculpt is, I would love to know. I can't tell by looking at her. Some people are really good at that. If she's a custom sculpt, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I really do feel like there is a shimmer to her skin. In the blue, I can see there is shimmer down here as well. I really do think there is glitter mixed into her, or like a shimmery, glittery stuff mixed into her plastic mold. I mean, plastic, that they use. Anyway, she has a little pink lip. It's like a little My Lips But Better, but a little like muted for her. It's really cute. They did not do the real exposed, cheek. They just painted on her teeth through the cheek. I think that, you know, that is to be expected from Monster High, because they did do some more details on her body instead, and they probably wanted to make her face look more pretty still. I love her earring with the character earring with the worm whose name I forget. I think that he's really well painted. Because I don't know, I just feel like a lot of times when you have an accessory or a little side character that is this small and this detailed, the detail on the face could have been lost. However, his eyes, eyebrows, and fangs are all painted on absolutely perfectly. I think they did a superb job with his paint job, and I think it's very detailed. I like how there is a little bit of movement, the way that he's wiggling through. He's not a straight line through. I don't know, just the way he's hanging out of the ear, I think is really fun. Let's go into her body. So she has one regular arm. She has one skeletal arm. She has an exposed rib cage. She has the opposite leg being bone, and then the opposite leg being regular, if that makes sense. So flesh, bone, bone, I mean, blown flesh. Okay, let's talk about her bone arm. On her bone arm, she does have her wedding ring, which I love that they included that detail. And then she has this like little blue mesh kind of like tulle sleeve. Her bodice of her dress is the combination of the lighter blue tulle that they used. The darker blue tulle, I think, is underneath it though. And then there's also, yeah, maybe it's all three layered at the top. I think it's the layering of all three different meshes at the top. We have just the lightest blue tulle as like a little frill coming out the top. That's not my favorite detail. It's probably one of my least favorite details on her, with that little frill coming out the top. I just don't think it looks as clean, and I wish they'd done it with like a slightly different material, but I'm not like upset by it. It's fine. It's just like not my favorite. Yeah, I love the way that she's posed in the box as well. It's very symmetrical, but it's very like runaway bride, but like, I don't know, like it really suits her. Anyway, or running to bride. I don't love the slit in her dress, but I don't hate it. I do appreciate that it gives us an insight into her legs, but I'll get to that later. She's wearing this kind of like belt thing across the front of her dress. It's quite a flexible material, as you can tell. And it's just like vines and pearls, so it's kind of like a deteriorated wedding dress. And she does have painted detail of just one butterfly over there. There are other butterflies in this that are not painted. I would have loved to see some more painted details on that since they were going to include it, but it's fine. It's fine. Down here we have the very simple slit, and her dress is just opened in this way. Let's talk about her legs. So she does have one bone leg, and it's both the thigh and the calf that is bone. And then the opposite leg is just regular flesh. Let's talk about her shoes. They are really cute shoes. I actually really like these. So one of them is, they're like strappy heels with little like pearls and drips coming down. This one has a flower on the flesh foot, and then on the non-flesh foot, just trying to see what the character heels, because I've forgotten. On the non-flesh foot, it just is beaded across. But we do have, you can't really tell in the angle, we do have a character heel. It's a little dog, I believe, at the back, which is very cute. I can't remember from the movie because it's been so long that I've seen it, who the dog is. On the back of the other heel of her like flesh foot, it's just like tree roots, because obviously she's like come up from the ground. And kind of references when Victor is like talking to her, but like doesn't realize he's talking to her, and he like puts the ring on the root, but he actually puts the ring on her. So the root kind of references that to me. I think that's all the details that I want to talk about her and her outfit specifically. I would like to say that from the two tools, there's a darker tool, then there's a lighter tool, then the actual like veil-y kind of wedding dress kind of top white layer is kind of like a faux lacy kind of thing. It's got all this like crisscross pattern. I actually wish that this was a little bit more of a like a pretty pattern than this like jagged, irregular, spooky pattern. I just think it would have been prettier. I wish it was a bit more lacy and gorgeous, because she deserves that. I reckon that would have made it for me. But yeah, the edges of it down here, you can see they're like a little jagged edge, because it's all like ripped and torn and spooky. And her veil is just like a plain white veil, which I think is very pretty. I like that there is decent length on the veil, so it comes all the way down to here. Does she even come with a doll stand? Oh yes, there is a doll stand behind. I'm not going to unbox her obviously, but you can see there's the doll stand. If you would like to take her out of box, she would have something. And I love the length they used for her hair. It literally is so long, like it probably goes down to about just past her, maybe midway down her calf, almost to her ankles. It's very long. It's very beautiful blue hair. I love the way the blue hair looks. It's really nice. The different I think it's just one shade of blue actually. Maybe there's like two mixed in, but maybe it's just one. The shade of blue they used is really nice. I really like the way she's like posed in the box, and the way that she looks so symmetrical and even and stuff. Really, really like the way she looks. Okay, everything I've wanted to mention about her, I've already talked about now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this email. What? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really did, because I love Emily, and I feel like she speaks to me because I'm a fellow Emily, but also because she's a great character, and I think it's a beautiful film. If you haven't watched The Corpse Bride, go check it out. It's probably on Disney Plus, I'm guessing. Mattel, I know you're not watching this video, but if you are, make more Emily related stuff. I feel like Emily and like The Corpse Bride has had a bit of a resurgence recently, and I've been really grateful for that, because she's a character that I love, and something great about becoming popular or mainstream. I know she's mainstream before, but like becoming more popular and like having a bit of a resurgence means there's more stuff about her around. So I love that. But yeah, I'd love to see Emily the Strange get a Skellacta doll. That'd be really cool, because she's a spooky icon, and I feel like the people at Mattel would understand that, because it's like she's like Elvira to me. Like she's one of those like classics. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you spending your time here with me today. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe to my channel. I do quite a lot of doll content. But if you'd like to see other stuff from me, you can find me on other platforms as well. I'm usually at EmilyTitch20. I'm most active here and on Instagram though, so that's where you can find me the most. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.